and welcome to today's session, Modernization That Matters, Building Trusted Data for Cloud, AI, and Beyond. We have some excellent speakers for our session today, including members from Precisely, Ashwin Ramachandran and Megan Hines, as well as Babu Kalaru, Director of Engineering from Citizens Bank. And without further ado, take it away, Ashwin.
I'm excited to be here to talk about one of the biggest challenges and opportunities we hear from you, tackling modernization. Migration is an ongoing initiative for every business. Everyone wants to drive down costs, increase flexibility, expand access to data, and fuel innovation and differentiation. But there are many steps on that journey. Your organization may be looking at digital transformation, cloud adoption, mainframe modernization, SAP S/4HANA migration, or maybe even new data architectures that enable delivery of data products via a data mesh or data fabric. Modernization is critical for success, and Precisely is here to help be your expert guide, regardless of where you're at on that journey. Today, I'll walk you through some of the best practices we see our customers adopting, and you'll have a chance to hear from Citizens Bank about how Precisely is helping them with their modernization journey. Finally, we'll wrap up with a Precisely Data Integrity Suite demo that showcases how it can help you succeed with your modernization initiatives. And with that, let's get started by looking at three capabilities on which many modernization efforts rely: data integration, metadata management, and data governance. First, we're going to start with the foundation of many modernization projects: data integration. Successful modernization relies on accessing critical and relevant data from legacy systems. This data can help inform new cloud-based applications and AI use cases. Without it, you will have gaps in the data fueling your modernization project. Those data gaps can cause delays in the insights needed for innovation, risk mitigation, or operational efficiency. We've seen customers implement successful integration strategies that resulted in a 3 to 5 times performance improvement in data delivery for projects. But integrating data across systems isn't as simple as flipping a switch. When it comes to what data to access and from where, you may need to ask yourself hard questions like, does this data need to live on core systems due to latency or regulatory requirements? Or can we completely bring this data to the cloud? Depending on your answer, your strategy and approach may completely change, not to mention your timelines. Integrating data across disparate systems is so important, but so is the metadata coming from the information you're bringing together. Metadata carries rich insights with it. For example, the size and shape of the data or its usage patterns. You should never discount metadata. It's one of the best ways to not only show what you have, but how it's being used. Effective metadata management can help you uncover patterns, anomalies, and optimization opportunities that can be useful across your modernization journey. Metadata-based recommendations can accelerate your business by showing you how to be more operationally efficient, suggesting the best data products for business reporting, or identifying data that could inform AI applications. Even if you aren't gathering metadata today, it's not too late to start. Even a little metadata can get you on the path to modernization success. Today's recommended best practice is to take an AI-driven approach to harvesting, profiling, and tagging metadata, even leveraging AI-generated descriptions and smart cataloging. But you'll see more about that later. I know David touched on the importance of governance for AI readiness, and when it comes to modernization, it's just as critical. Modernization is pulling data from everywhere, so you need to have governance practices in place that give you the ability to have trusted, secure, and well-managed data. What this means for you is validating data with data quality, using observability to catch issues early, and setting strong governance policies and stewardship models. But governance goes beyond technology. It means making sure people in your organization have data literacy that empowers them to have a greater understanding of data meaning, quality, lineage, and impact. And it can support compliance by cataloging data types and lineage by functional area to make sure only the right people have access to data. We just touched on it lightly, but like governance, your modernization efforts are nothing without empowering your teams. Business and IT users alike need simple, intuitive ways to find, understand, and use data without bottlenecks. Your data architecture should ultimately enable easy, self service access to your data products, helping to build a data centric culture, which is essential for driving agility, innovation, and better customer experiences. And speaking of driving innovation, I'm so excited now to introduce Babu Kilaru, the Director of Engineering at Citizens Bank. Babu's been instrumental to Citizens' modernization journey, bringing mainframe data to the cloud to power new, modern experiences for their banking customers. And immediately after that, you'll see a demo of the Precisely Data Integrity Suite by Megan Hines on how it supports modernization initiatives with data integration, data cataloging with AI generated descriptions, data observability, and data governance. But first, let's hear from Babu.
Babu Kilaru. I manage the Citizens Banking core, which runs on the mainframe for the last 20 plus years. We started our modernization journey, and I'm managing the modernization of the banking in the Citizens Financial Corporation. The main thing on the challenges are we started our digitization journey sometime back. Our CEO Bruce launched us into a journey to be a better bank, digital first type of a bank into the customer eyes and those kind of a things. When we started our digitization journey, our customer facing applications such as online banking and mobile banking, as well as our colleagues experiencing on the various branches and also on the back office call centers, and all these things needs to be modernized. So we redesigned our mobile apps, we redesigned our web experiences, and we are in the process of redesigning our branch and back office colleague experiences. All these digital experiences we redesigned. The critical part they needed to interact with our customers or to internal colleagues is the data. So the data is the key. The data is locked on the mainframe. So to get to the data, either to answer a question or to maintain a data or anything to get to the data, this is taking a toll on our response times. Our response times is 600, 700 milliseconds. And if you add 10 different calls are required to that one, it definitely takes a toll on screen time that the customer is waiting on backend response to come up, right? So that takes the customer experience toll, as well as it dissatisfies our colleagues because they are unable to answer the customer questions fast enough and all these things. When we look into our problems, bringing the data close to where our web applications are designed, either to serve our online banking customers, mobile customers, as well as our colleagues that are working in the branch and the back office, the data being close to those applications in the cloud is going to help us in the response times, and also they feel better position to serve the customers on the colleague perspective, and customers will feel low latency data coming in front of them so that they feel better with our experiences. So when we looked into the market, we found out that precisely data integration tool, unlike changing the legacy application code, what it does is it looks into the changes that are happening behind the scenes on the data structure, values the data structures that mainframe uses, and it can work very well with different data structures in mainframe, which is vsam files and db2 and all these things. And then it listens to the logs and then transmits the changes that are happening to the values in these data structures to the cloud. So when the consumer or the customer or the or colleague comes on the digital application, we can get the data what we stored in the cloud itself rather than going to the mainframe. So our response times improved. Then one more thing that improved on this one is when we are using mainframe as a data source, because we need to go through layers, if any one of the layers is gone, then we are not having the data access, thus degrading our customer experience. But with the data being available on the cloud right now using the processing integration tool, now we have a secondary source or maybe a primary source, secondary source being the mainframe. Now we have a 24/7 support easily can be given. When mainframe is out, we still can support through our primary source, which is the cloud-based data. And secondary source perspective, some reason the cloud-based data is not available due to some issue, we still can go to mainframe.
As we discussed earlier, data modernization is a really complex and ongoing journey for every organization. It's a critical part of digital transformation, and it oftentimes spans multiple domains and requires really careful coordination. So today, I'll be focusing on three essential pillars of data modernization and how the Precisely Data Integrity Suite helps you succeed in each one. We'll be covering data integration, metadata management, and data governance. So let's go ahead and dive into how each of these areas play a vital role in building a trusted and modern data foundation. So within the suite, we offer two powerful types of data replication to support your modernization efforts. First, continuous replication, which enables real-time data movement by continuously capturing changes from your source systems and replicating them to your target environment, ensuring that your data is always current and synchronized. And then secondarily is mainframe replication. This is designed specifically for mainframe environments, and this option facilitates seamless data transfer and synchronization between legacy systems and modern platforms, helping bridge the gap between the past and the future. Both of these replication types are powered by our unique agent-based infrastructure. This allows for secure connections to on-premises data sources. The agents then will share metadata back to the wider Data Integrity Suite Foundation, which enables centralized visibility and control. So let's look at how we can continuously replicate and modernize our data. And it's actually quite simple because we use a wizard-driven interface to guide you through the process. With just a few guided steps here, you can name your pipeline, configure any of your replication options, select your source data, and then your target data, define where your data is going. And all of these connections you're seeing are actually in our data catalog already. So everything's going to be centralized in our foundation. Next, we'll choose the data sets that we want to replicate and select any columns as well here. And then finally, we can map out our fields to ensure accurate alignment between our source and destination data sets. Once this is configured, all you have to do is save and run your pipeline. It's that easy. Our goal is to make the first step in your modernization journey both seamless and impactful. As a part of the data modernization journey we just started here with this replication pipeline, we'll automatically and securely connect new metadata and bring it all together in a centralized data catalog. Once your data is cataloged, it quickly becomes a very powerful asset. Teams across your organization can quickly discover, understand, and make use of critical data elements, helping drive smarter decisions and faster outcomes and reducing data silos. One of the key features of our data catalog is the ability to utilize artificial intelligence to add business context to technical metadata with just the click of a button. Here, I select Generate, and I immediately see an in-depth description of this table, making it easier for our business users to understand anything in the technical metadata catalog. We also utilize a unique bring your own LLM infrastructure, which gives you more control over how AI is used in your data integrity suite instance. We can also add context by tagging your data. You can see here we tag this as being customer data. This can be used to easily find tables by looking up their context. So we add a layer of intelligence to bridge the gap between technical metadata and business context, empowering users to confidently explore and use the data that matters most. Once your data has been migrated to a modern platform and then centralized within our data catalog and enriched with context using artificial intelligence, we want to make sure that the data we're working with is going to be high quality. And you might have noticed this on the screen already, but this is where our data catalog scoring functionality comes in. It's going to evaluate the quality of your data assets so that you can be confident that everything coming with you on your modernization journey is accurate, complete, and trustworthy. By surfacing data quality insights directly within the catalog, we can help you prioritize what needs attention and ensure your teams are working with the most reliable data possible. So we'll support this by both out-of-the-box and custom rules, helping guide you towards better data quality while also giving you the flexibility to determine what good data means to you. Out-of-the-box rules work by checking for things like validity of your data based off of its semantic type, looking for null and blank values in your data. And custom rules allow you to define what good data looks like. To build a custom rule, you can simply select Create Rule here. We'll give it a name. We can add a description if we'd like. And then we'll select the dimension of data quality that we'd like it to fall under. We can toggle on if we'd like to surface a sample of the failed records from the rule. And then once we've established the basics, we'll go ahead and choose the target fields from our centralized data catalog, and we can apply any past conditions. So I'll go ahead and select any fields I'd like here. I'll add them to the rule. And then finally, what I can do is I can build out my past conditions. So we can either keep it simple by saying value is or is not something, or we can make it more complex, utilizing our easy-to-use expression builder. Whether you're applying standard best practices or tailoring rules to meet specific business needs, the Data Integrity Suite ensures that your data quality framework is both robust and adaptable. Once your data has been migrated, centralized, enriched with context, and assessed for quality, and it's overall in a trustworthy state, we'll want to make sure that it stays that way. And this is where data observability comes in. So data observability is going to allow you to continuously monitor your modernized data for patterns, trends, and unexpected changes. Our observability tools will alert you to anomalies around the volume, schema, freshness, and other common statistics of your data immediately. So looking at our screen here, we see a data drift alert, and it's telling us that we had a really significant drop in the completeness of this specific field. This is going to allow us to proactively address the issue that we're seeing here before it can have a downstream impact on the processes or decision-making using this data set. But data observability is just one piece of the puzzle. In order to truly safeguard your data and maximize its value, you need strong data governance. This helps ensure that data is used responsibly, securely, and in compliance with internal policies and external regulations. It defines who can access what data, under what conditions, and for what purpose. So to support the ongoing health of your modernized data, the Data Integrity Suite offers a ton of integrated governance functionality. But just to name a few things, we offer metadata tagging. So this allows you to enrich data assets with business-relevant labels and classifications, helping make it easier to search, filter, and manage your data estate. We also offer data lineage. So data lineage is going to give you full visibility into where your data comes from, how it moves, and how it's transformed, so that you can trace issues back to their source and understand data in context. Finally, we offer a flexible governance meta model. This adapts to your organization's business needs, unique structure, and policies and workflows, so that you can implement governance in a way that aligns with your business and not the other way around. So together, all of these capabilities form the foundation of a successful data modernization journey.
A big thank you to Babu for sharing his story and to our team for that amazing demo. As we close out this section of today's program, I want you to remember that your modernization journey is not just about any one thing. Your modernization approach must incorporate the many ways in which you can make your data more complete, accessible, and trusted. Ultimately, modernization is not optional, it's mission critical. It's the strategic linchpin that will determine the success or failure of your next generation technology initiatives.
Thanks, Ashwin. And if you're looking to continue the conversation with Precisely, please head over to precisely.com so that you can see more demos, white papers, and case studies having to do with modernization. You can also feel free to set up a 30-minute personalized demo with us at precisely.com/contact. Thanks again for joining and have a great rest of your day.